Happy morning, students. This is GATE coaching class organized by Erode Senmudar Engineering College, Tamil Nadu, under the scheme of AICTE Pre-Runner, scheme of preparing SC/ST students for higher education, especially for GATE. For today's session, myself, J. Sridhar, Assistant Professor of ECE, Erode Senmudar Engineering College, Tamil Nadu. For today's session, I'm going to handle you the network theory subject. Under this, we'll concentrate on the topic of network elements. So this is overview of my today's class. Today we are going to see about what is voltage, current, energy and power, types of networks, network elements, Ohm's law, series and parallel combination of elements, Kirchhoff's law, voltage and current division rule, source transformation, star and delta, vice versa conversion, and problems. So voltage, always a force of attraction exists between the positive and negative charges in an atom. So this is the basic thing which we all know. The energy required, so what voltage means? The energy required to overcome this force and move the charges through the specific distance is called potential energy. So the potential difference in the potential energy is called the potential difference. The term is called voltage. So the voltage can be defined with the formula of work done mean energy divided by charge, which means work done against 1 coulomb of charge, which is called as voltage. So next, current. So the rate of flow of electrons in a conductive or semiconductive material is measured by the number of electrons flow past a point in a unit time. So I can be defined as Q by T, which is called as dQ by dt, rate of charge with respect to time. So voltage and current can be explained in this way. So say V1 is a voltage in a point and V2 is voltage in another point. So V1, the value of V1 is greater than V2. So which is called as value of the voltage value of V1 is greater than V2. So automatically the charge are flows from the point V1 to V2. So the current flow between V1, current flow can be done in the form of in the point from V1 to V2. So which can be explained as say V1 is a tank which is placed at the top of the building, and V2 is another tank which is placed at the bottom of a building. So automatically pressure difference in the V1 and V2 is high. So V1 is, so the water flows from the tank V1 to V2. Same way, the current flow from the point V1 to V2 will be passes. And energy and power. So before defining the energy, we'll get into power. So power can be written as voltage into current. Power can be defined as voltage into current, and this power will be measured at watts. And energy can be defined as power into time. Energy can be defined as power into time, which can be measured at the term of joules. So there are different types of networks are available. So we can classify, there are 4 networks, classify the networks into 4 types. One is active or passive elements, active and passive elements. The second one is bilateral and unilateral elements, and the third one is linear and non-linear elements, and the fourth one is lumped and or distributed elements. So first we'll see active and passive elements. So the active elements have the capability to deliver the average power greater than for infinite period of time to the connected devices. Example, the ideal power sources like battery, voltage, everything. And the passive elements which consumes or dissipate the energy stored in the circuit. Example, resistors, capacitors, inductors are the passive elements. Bilateral and unilateral network. In the bilateral network have some voltage to current relationship for current flow in either direction. Any conducting wires, resistors. So these are the example for the bilateral networks. And the unilateral networks, example, vacuum diodes, silicon diodes, rectifiers. So these are all the example for the unilateral networks. Linear and non-linear networks. Linear elements have the linear VI relationship. VI in the sense voltage to current relationship, which is under the straight line, which is passing through the origin. So linear element obeys the superposition theorem. Example, resistance. So non-linear elements is directly opposite to the linear elements. So the voltage and current relationship could not be defined in the straight line which is passing through the origin, which can be varied at any direction at any time, depends upon the elements. So example for this nonlinear elements are the diode, transistor, xenodiode, triac, SCR. So all the semiconductor devices comes under this nonlinear devices or nonlinear elements. Lumped and distributed. So small in size, simultaneous action takes place for any given cause at the same time of instant. So the size is very small, which is compared to the wavelength of the signal which is applied at the input side. So example for this, resistance, inductance and the capacitance are LC elements. Distributed elements are not electrically separable for any analytical purpose. Example for this, transmission line has its distributed RLC throughout its entire length, and comes under the network elements, which is most important part for our topic. There are three major elements used in the electric circuit are resistance, inductance and the capacitance. Let us see about all the three elements in a detailed manner. So first we'll go with the resistance. So here resistance, there is no more collision of electrons within this material, which is made up of any metallic conductors, which is free flow of current. There is no drop. Under the resistance, which is resistance value is 0 ohms. The resistance value is not equal to the 0 ohms. Due to this physical property of the material, collision of the electrons with the atoms of the material takes place, which drops the flow of current. The flow of current is resisted by the value R, and the drop of the potential across the material. So the resistance, when we include a resistance inside a circuit, which is used to resist the flow of current and will drop the voltages across this resistance. And finally, inductance. A wire of certain length is twisted into coil to form a basic inductor. So which is shown in the figure. So when we pass through the current through this inducting element, when time varying current changes through the inductor, a flux will change. A flux will be produces through the, and when the current changes instantaneously, and the produces flux will also changes instantaneously according to the Faraday's law. There will be some voltages induced inside the coil, and which is given by L is equal to V is equal to L into d by dt. Note, for the coil will produce the flux changes when the current changes instantaneously. When we pass a DC current through this through the inductance element, di by dt is equal to 0. So the voltage across the inductance will be 0 as a short circuit. And the capacitance. So it has two conducting surfaces separated by a dielectric material. So the capacitance is the amount of charge a capacitor can store when a voltage is applied across to it. So the formula of capacitance C is equal to Q by V. So Q is charge stored inside the capacitance, and V is voltage applied to the capacitance across. So next, Ohm's law. Ohm's law states that in a metallic conductor at a constant temperature in a zero magnetic field, the current flowing is directly proportional to the voltage of the conductor is inversely to the resistance of the conductor. So this V is directly proportional to I. So, to remove the proportionality symbol, we'll introduce a constant value is R. R is the value of resistance of a conductor. So V is equal to I into R. So VI graph of the shown here. So is linearly increasing when the voltages increases. There are some limitations under this Ohm's law. Limitation is the conductors should be metallic conductors. So there will not be any the Ohm's law could not be applied to the other than metallic conductors, and this Ohm's law could be applicable only when the temperature is constant. When the temperature is constant. So this is the limitations of Ohm's law. Series and parallel combinations of elements. So under this, series and parallel combination of resistance. So here R1, R2, R3 are the three resistance which is connected the series combinations. So the total resistance of this circuit can be calculated with the formula of Rs equal to plus R2 plus R3, which is summation of individual resistances. So series resistance of a series combinations can be calculated by sum of individual resistances. So here the total resistance, the value of total resistance is always greater than the individual resistance. So Rs is greater than and R3. So this is the property of this is the formula to calculate the series combination, total resistance in a series combination. And the second one is parallel combination. So here R1, R2, R3 all the three elements are connected in a parallel. So the total resistance in a parallel combinations can be calculated with the formula of 1 by RT. RT is total parallel resistance, resultant resistance. So 1 by RT is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. So here the total parallel resultant resistance value is less than the individual resistance. So this is the property of parallel combination. So the total resistance is less than the individual resistance. So one more thing in the series combination. So it's here the series combination. In the series combination, the current flow towards through the R1, R2, R3 are same. The current flow through the resistance R1, R2, R3 are same in the series resistance combination, and here voltage across the R1, R2, R3 are same in the parallel combination. So here current is a constant parameter. Here the voltage across the elements are constant parameter. In a series circuit, voltage across the individual elements are different. So say for example R1 with the drop of V1, R2 with the drop of V2, R3 with the drop of V3. So when we sum R1, V1, V2, V3, which should be equal to the total applied voltage. In the same way, parallel combination, here the current flow element R1 is I1, R2 is I2, R3 is I3. So when we sum I1, I2, I3, which should be equal to the total current flow through the circuit I. So this is the property of series and parallel combination. Next, series and parallel combination of inductance. So here inductance will be connected within with four ways. There are two inductance L1 and L2 connected in a four different ways, which is called as series aiding, series opposing, parallel aiding, and parallel opposing. So the dot is indicated to calculate the mutual inductance. Dot is indicated the mutual inductance value between the L1 and L2. So here dots are in a same place, which means current flow towards the dot in a same direction, which is called as aiding. So L1 and L2 is connected in a series combination. So which is called as series aiding. The total inductance value can be calculated with the formula of L1 plus L2 plus 2M. M is mutual inductance between the L1 and L2. And the second combination is series opposing. So here L1 and L2 are two individual inductance which is connected in a series format, and here concentrate on the dot, place of the dot. Here dot is placed, current flow towards the dot, and here current leaves through the dot. So the dots are at the opposite direction. So this is opposing and resist. So the inductance are connected in a series. So this series opposing. Well, inductance for the combination is L1 plus L2 minus M, because this is dot L1 plus L2 minus parallel. Parallel AD is L1 and L2 is connected parallel manner. Here, place of the dot is current flow in two inductance. Current flow towards the dot is the state dash. So leading and the reference is started in a parallel manner. So this is parallel AD combination. So the total inductance can be calculated with the formula of L1 into L2 minus M square divided by L1 plus L2 minus 2M. So here M is indicates that mutual inductance L2. The next one is opposite. L1 and L2 are connected in a parallel way, and the dot in the L1 current flow towards the dot at L1. Current leads towards the dot at L2. So L1 and L2 are in the opposing manner. L1 and L2 connected in a parallel combination. This are inductances. So equivalent resistance can be equivalent calculated with the formula L equivalent is equal to L to L minus M square, the whole divided by L1 plus L2 plus 2M. So M is mutual inductance between the L1 and L2. So next one is series and parallel combinations of capacitance. So C1 and C2 are two individual capacitances connected in a series manner. So the total capacitance value can be calculated by 1 by CS. 1 by CS is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. And the parallel capacitance C1 and C2 is connected in a parallel manner. The parallel capacitance value can be calculated with the formula of Cp is equal to C1 plus C2. So here in a series capacitance, the total capacitance is equal to is less than the individual capacitance. So here the total resultant capacitance value is less than the individual capacitance. In a parallel combination, the total resultant capacitance is greater than the individual capacitance. So this is the combinations of series and parallel for a resistance, inductance, and the capacitance elements. So next we'll concentrate on basic laws. Kirchhoff law. So Kirchhoff first law is Kirchhoff current law. So Kirchhoff current law states that for any node or junction in an electrical circuit, the sum of the current flowing to the node is equal to the sum of current flow out of that node or equivalently. Or otherwise we can define as the algebraic sum of the current in a network of a conductor meeting point is 0. So here there will be a circuit with the branches of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 branches. So here I1, I3, I5. All the three branch currents are a current flow towards the node. And I2, I3 branch 2, branch 4, current flow away from the node. I2 and I4 current flow away from the node. So this can be, the equations can be written as I1 plus I3 plus I5. All the three currents are current flow towards the node, which is equal to I2 plus I4. So these currents are flow away from the node. Or otherwise we can write I1 plus I1 minus I2 plus I3 minus I4 plus I5 is equal to 0. So current flow towards the node is taking in the positive direction. Current flow away from the node is taking in the negative direction. So all the total currents are all the total in junction point is 0 or node point is 0, which is called as Kirchhoff's current law and Kirchhoff's voltage law. This law is also called as Kirchhoff's second law, which is defined at the loop. Kirchhoff, the direction, sum of the potential differences around any closed loop is 0. So here V1, R1, R2, R3 are the three individual resistance are connected in a series manner excited with the voltage V. So current flow through the closed loop is I. So depends upon the Kirchhoff voltage law, we can write V1 is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. So sum of the individual drops is equal to voltage rise inside the closed loop. So V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. So V can be written as I into R1 and V2 can be written as I into R2, V3 can be written as I into R3. So which is replaced here is equal to I into R1 plus I into R2 plus I into R3, which is Kirchhoff's voltage law. Next one is voltage division rule. So here voltage division rule is applicable only at the series circuits, which could not be applied at the parallel circuit, because in a parallel circuit voltage across the individual elements are same. So which is applicable, voltage division rule is applicable only at the series circuit. So here R1, R2, R3 are three individual resistance which is connected in a series circuit, and the voltage drop across the individual resistance are V1, V2, V3 respectively, and the circuit is excited with the voltages V. So the individual voltage can be calculated with the formula V1 is equal to total voltage V into R1 divided by R1 plus R2 plus R3. And V2 can be written as V into total voltage V into R2 divided by R1 plus R2 plus R3. V3 can be written as V into R3 divided by R1 plus R2 plus R3. So on the whole, this formula can be written as individual voltage is equal to total voltage into individual resistance divided by the total resistance, which can be says in a common manner. So individual voltage drop can be written as individual total voltage into individual resistance divided by the total resistance. So we can calculate the individual drop across the each and every elements. Next one is current division rule. So this current division rule can be applied at only on the parallel circuit, which is not applicable at the series circuit, because in a series circuit total current flow throughout the individual elements are same, so which is applicable only to the parallel circuit. So here R1 and R2 are two resistance connected in a parallel and which is excited by the voltage V, and the current flow through the circuit is I. Total current flow through the circuit is I. And the individual currents can be calculated with the help of current division rule, and the formula is individual current is equal to total current into opposite resistance divided by the total resistance. So here we'll calculate I1 current flow towards through the resistance R1. So I1 is equal to I into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. So opposite resistance for the R1 is R2. So R2 divided by total resistance R1 plus R2. Similarly, I2 can be calculated with total current I. Opposite resistance of R2 is R1 divided by the total resistance R1 plus R2. So this is current division rule among the parallel circuit. Next one is source transformation. So here voltage source can be converted into current source, and the current source can be converted into voltage source by. So here we'll use voltage source is always connected with the series source resistance, and the current source is always connected with the parallel source resistance. So here current source can be modified into the voltage source, and voltage source can be modified into the current source in this manner. So voltage source can be converted into current source with the formula of Is is equal to Vs by Rs, and the series resistance could be connected in a parallel manner, and the current source can be converted into voltage source with the formula Vs is equal to Rs into Is, and the parallel resistance is connected in a series manner. So this is the thing which we need to remember when we transfer the sources. And the next one is star to delta conversion. So this is the delta conversion which we all know, and this is the star connection which you all know. So the delta connections can be converted into star with the help of R1. So here 3 nodes are there, 1, 2, 3, and between the 3 nodes 3 elements are connected, RA, RB and RC. So which is converted as star source, which is converted as star connection R1, R2, R3. So the value of R1 is equal to RB into RC divided by RA plus RB plus RC. R2 can be calculated as RA, RC divided by RA plus RB plus RC. R3 can be calculated as RA into RB divided by RA plus RB plus RC. So this is the formula to convert delta into star connection. And the next one is star to delta connection. So here R1, R2, R3 are the 3 resistance connected in a star connection, which could be converted as delta. So the resultant delta resistance values are RA, RB, RC, and this could be calculated with the formula of R1 plus R1 into R2 plus R2 into R3 plus R3 into R1 divided by R1. RB can be calculated as R1 into R2 plus R2 into R3 plus R3 into R1 divided by R2. And RC can be calculated as R1 into R2 plus R2 into R3 plus R3 into R1 divided by R3. So here we can compare the formulas. Here delta to star conversion, denominator is the constant parameter. See, compare all these 3. Denominator is the common values. So here star to delta conversion, concentrate on these 3 formulas. Here the numerator are the constant values. So this can be, which can be remembered easily. The formula can be remembered easily. So here we'll get into some problems. A connection is made consisting of resistance A in series with a parallel combination resistance B and C. The three resistance of value of 10 ohms, 2 ohms are provided. Consider all possible permutations of the given resistance into the positions of A, B and C. Identify the configurations with maximum possible overall resistance and also the ones with minimum possible overall resistance. The ratio of maximum to minimum values of the resistance up to 2 decimal place is. So the problem is, we'll explain the problem first and we'll get into the solution next. So here there are three resistance are available: 10 ohms, 5 ohms, 2 ohms, which we need to connect with the maximum resultant value and the minimum resultant value. And the given combination is A is a series resistance, B and C will be connected in a parallel manner. So what we need to calculate is, we need to calculate or we need to find the maximum possible overall resistance and the minimum possible overall resistance with the different permutations and combinations. So finally we need to calculate the ratio between the maximum resultant and the minimum resultant value of the resistance. So the maximum can be calculated when the 10 ohm is connected in a series. So automatically 5 ohms and the 2 ohms are connected, should be connected in a parallel like this. So the 10 ohm is connected in a parallel and the 2 and 3 ohms are connected in a series. For the maximum combination, so the maximum value of these three resistances 10 ohms. So the 10 ohms should be connected in a series. So other than 10 ohm is 5 ohms and 2 ohms are connected in a parallel manner. So the maximum resistance can be calculated with 10 plus 5 parallel 2. So the total resistance in the maximum is 11.42 ohms. And the minimum combinations, to get the minimum combination, so 10, 5, 2. Within these three, 2 ohms is the minimum. So we'll keep 2 ohms in the series circuit, and the maximum value of these three is 10 and the next maximum is 5. So connect these two things in a parallel manner so that we can get the minimum combinations. So the value of R minimum is equal to 2 plus 5 parallel 10. So that the resultant value is 5.33 ohms. So what we need to calculate is the ratio between the maximum and the minimum resultant resistances. So R max divided by R minimum is equal to 11.42 divided by 5.33 is, the value is 2.41. So in this way we can approach the formula, approach the problem. And the second problem is, for the given circuit, the values of V1 and V2 are respectively. So we need to calculate the value of V1 and V2. Concentrate on the circuit diagram. So 4 ohms, 4 ohms, 4. So these three are connected in a parallel and this is connected in a series. I excited with the current value, excited with the current source 5 ampere. So here V1 is we need to calculate V1, and the current flow through this V1 through this current source is 2 into I. So here I is specified in this branch, this 4 ohms branch. So what we need to calculate is we need to calculate the value of I so that we can calculate V1 and V2. So first we need to calculate I. So consider these circuit only. Consider the circuit only. So 5 ampere is current, 5 ampere current is flow towards this 4 resistance. So here the junction point is there. So here the total current 5 amps is splitted into 2 branches. So here we need to apply current division rule to get I. So the formula is I branch current I can be calculated as total current 5 ampere into opposite resistance. So the opposite resistance of this 4 ohms is this 4 ohm divided by these two total resistance 4 plus 4. So the current flow I is 2.4, 2.5 ampere, and we need to calculate V1. So V1 is equal to, so what is V1? V1 is equal to 2 into I. So we have calculated the value of 2.5 is I is equal to 2.5. So substitute the value 2 into 2.5. So we can get the 5 voltage. And V2. So V2, the voltage across these two terminals, voltage across these two terminals is V2 is equal to 5 into 5 ampere, 5 into V1. V2 is equal to 5 into V1. So V1 can be calculated. V1 has calculated already. Substitute the value of V1. So 5 into 5, which gives 25 voltage. So V1 is 5 volt and V2 is 25 volt. And the problem 3. So identify the given circuit. The circuit shown figure represents. So what is this source? We need to identify what is the source. So we have given with the options are voltage controlled voltage source, voltage controlled current source, current controlled current source, current controlled voltage source. So here, so what we need, so here what is the source? A into I1, A1 into A1 into II. So here, what is the variable element? II. So where is II? II is represent here. So when the current value of II varies, so the total current source value is also varies. So which is called as current controlled current source. The source is current source. The value of the current source is controlled by the current flow through this branches II. So which is called as current controlled current source. And the next problem, consider a delta connection of a resistance and its equivalent star connections are shown below. If all the elements of the delta connections are scaled by the factor k, the value of k is greater than 0. The elements of the corresponding star equivalent will be scaled by the factor of. So here we'll approach the problem. So here the given connection is star connection. We need to convert the star into delta, right? So we need to convert star into delta. So here what we need to do it, the scaled factor, the value of k is scaled with the resistance R1 and R2 and R3. What will happen to the delta connections? The value of the resistance, what will happen to the delta connections? So here the value, so here the formulas are RA is equal to R1 into R2 plus R2 into R3 plus R3 into R1. So we'll consider only the resistance RA. So RA is R1 into R2 plus R2 into R3 plus R3 into R1 divided by R1. So which is scaled by the factor K. Each and every resistance are scaled by the factor K. So R1 can be replaced by K into R1 plus into K into R2 plus K into R2 K R3 plus K R3 into K R1. So here all the factors are scaled by K square. So K square is common between the all the terms. So take K square to the outside. So here K square and K are common, cancel each other, so that RA can be written as K into R1 into R2 plus R2 into R3 plus R3 into R1 divided by R1. So the resultant delta connection elements are scaled by K. The resultant delta connection elements are scaled by here K, which is applicable, which is similar to RB and RC. And the fourth problem is the equivalent inductance measured between the terminals 1 and 2 for the given shown figure. So consider the elements L1 and L2. Consider the elements L1 and L2 which is connected in the series combination. Concentrate on the dots. So here L1 current flow towards the L1 is which is leaves through the dot, and the L2 is current enters into the dot. So the mutual inductance between the L1 and L2 is opposing. So the combination is series opposing, and the formula is series opposing is L1 plus L2 minus 2M. And the next problem is voltage. We need to calculate the voltage E0 in the given figure. So concentrate on the circuit diagram. 4 ohms, 2. All the circuits which is excited by the voltage 12 volt. So here this is considered as loop 1 and this will be considered as loop 2. So in order to calculate, we need to calculate the voltage across the element 4 ohms, which is E0. So apply the voltage division. What we need to calculate is voltage across the 4 ohms, which is E0. So here supplied by the voltage 12 volt. So here we need to apply and consider this is loop 1. Consider the loop 1. So 4 and 4 ohms are connected in a series manner. So we need to apply the voltage division rule on loop 1 so that we can get the voltage across the 4 ohms. So E0 is equal to voltage across this 4 ohms is E0 is equal to the total voltage 12 ohms into the individual resistance 4 divided by the total resistance 4 plus 4, which is 6 volt. And next problem, impedance Z as shown in the figure. Calculate the total impedance shown in the figure. So here the individual impedance is 5J, 2J and 2J. And the mutual inductance between the 5J and 2J is 10J, which is the dots here. See the dots are in the opposite direction between Z1 and Z3, and the dots in the Z2 and Z3 are the same direction So here the connection is series opposing, here the connection is series aiding. So we can write the formula. So there is no mutual inductance between Z1 and Z2. And Z1 and Z3 are series opposing combination. Z3 and Z2 are series aiding combination. So the total impedances are Z is equal to Z1 plus Z2 plus Z3 minus 2M13 plus 2M23. So substitute all the values, 5J, 2J, 2J, minus 2 into 10J plus 2 into 10J, which is, so minus 20J plus 20J can cancel each other, so that the total impedances across the across the circuit is 9J ohms. So with this note, the first class has been completed. We'll see the rest of the problems in the further classes. So thank you all.